The current European sanctions cover almost two-thirds of Russian exports and imports, and this percentage will be increased.
We cover 60% of all previous imports and exports, some 7,500 products. The only products I have discussed with Kazakhstan are 50 products. As for companies, we do reserve the right to prevent trade with companies who have evidence, according to our data, are knowingly circumventing our sanctions.
In addition to commodity restrictions, the new package of sanctions will help limit aluminum exports from Russia. In addition, Brussels plans to expand energy sanctions by adding dozens of oil tankers of the Russian shadow fleet to the blacklist. According to Western media, the EU has abandoned the idea of imposing an embargo on liquefied natural gas from Russia with the 16th package of sanctions. Instead, they plan to limit the volume of its imports.
The proposal will not include a blanket prohibition of liquefied natural gas imports. Instead, it would only stop Russian liquefied natural gas from going to EU terminals not connected to the EU's gas system. Additionally, the new offering will push to restrict Moscow's aluminum exports. The EU still relies on Russia for around 6% of its aluminum imports, from Politico, citing two anonymous EU diplomats.
In the 16th package, the European Union is also likely to expand the list of individual sanctions, adding individuals and entities involved in spreading Russian propaganda and undermining Ukraine's territorial integrity, and ban entry to individuals suspected of espionage and participation in disinformation campaigns. Video game equipment, such as Microsoft's Xbox, will also be banned. Brussels claims that Russia uses it to control drones.
We are really looking into all the types of things that help Russia to wage this war. Even the consoles for video games, because apparently these are the ones that they operate drones with. Drone remote controllers are essential for military drone operations and should undoubtedly be banned. The sanctions list will include chemicals needed for the Russian military industry. We are, of course, talking about energy. What the final version will be clear when we agree. Kaja Kallas, EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Ukrainian Pravda reports.
Kiev insists that the EU should continue working to reduce the aggressor country's ability to circumvent the previously imposed restrictions. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, violation of the sanctions should be treated as complicity in the war.
Every Russian Shahed, every Russian missile are components manufactured by other countries in Europe, China, and even America. Without such critical components, there will be no way for Russia to break the lives of other nations. Therefore, it is critical that sanctions be really strong and such that they cannot be avoided under any circumstances. There should be no way left to supply Russia with critical components for defense production.
Approval of the future 16th EU sanctions package, like any previous one, requires the consent of all members of the Union. But Hungary may put a stick in the wheels. The country is traditionally skeptical of new sanctions. Thus, in late January, Budapest supported Brussels' decision to extend the sanctions regime against Russia only after receiving an EU statement on energy security in return. Hungary is ready to approve the 16th package only after consultations with US President Donald Trump.
The European Union should be very careful when taking new sanction measures against Russia. Without such an agreement with President Trump, the Hungarian government sees no reason to approve further sanctions. János Boka, Hungary's Minister of European Affairs, in an interview with the publication Welt am Sonntag.
Brussels expects to time the 16th package of anti-Russian sanctions to the third anniversary of the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine and approve it at the end of February this year, reported by Valeria Nekapelova, UATV News.